Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future anime, cartoon-related videos. So today we are talking about Akudama Drive, Season 1, Episode 7, and we get some nice backstory. The brawler, yeah, he is unfortunately dead. As I said, he was kind of a cool character, really much so a bro. He is 100% dead. Hacker, no idea what's going on with Hacker. The one executioner is definitely dead. Hoodlum is actually alive, and I don't know how. I think basically that whole situation played out. Probably the executioner pupil was kind of surprised by it, didn't really have a weapon, and he ended up stabbing her eye out because he was angry at the executioners, obviously, for killing Brawler, his bro, which makes perfect sense in that particular scenario. So we get the backstory of the two kids. They just call each other brother and sister, so that's what we're going to go for with their names. I'm looking at the official wiki here, and it's saying that's what they're called, so let's just kind of roll with it. Keep on chugging along. We learn their backstory. Basically, they are two immortal humans, meaning they cannot die. I don't believe they grow old, although we don't know of this, but they can't die by, like, physical attacks. We learned about the experiments happened on Brother pretty much every single day. He was with all these different kids over and over and over again. They cut him, they chopped his head off a couple of times, and every single time he just kept walking back, never actually died. He was good to go. The reason they had all these friends around is for his mental health. Obviously, if you're going to chop into somebody over and over and over again, and it's actually going to cause them pain, they don't get rid of pain receptors, which we know that for a fact they didn't get rid of the pain receptors, which is kind of messed up if you're making somebody immortal. That it would destroy his mental state. So in order to make this, the cat is actually kind of like the professor of this school that they're in with all these kids. And what they do is they make all of these kids, basically they make humans, they take the best traits from everyone in order to make the person immortal, put everything in this giant crazy vat that's under the gym, which is terrifying because there's basically like a bunch of dead kids floating around in this vat. Combine the DNA and it makes an immortal human. They have both a male and a female for this. And great, my light just died, but we're going to keep going. So basically, they are two immortal human beings. Neither one of them can die. And that's the gist of their story. The underground city, let's see here what I have. Nope, that doesn't work either. The underground city, which is where we left off on episode 6, is basically the ancestors' past. So they wanted to preserve the past. So everything they did in the past, they put down there. They actually have hover bikes, which I thought was really, really cool. They have a physical rocket, and that was the destination of brother and sister, was getting to the physical rocket. The reason they wanted to do that was because they wanted to get to the moon, because they were immortal, so they wouldn't die on the moon. They don't need any food, as we've seen for previous episodes. Most likely they can probably breathe without oxygen, or at least, I mean, it's going to feel like they're suffocating the entire time, but they're not actually going to die on 9 out of 10 in that particular scenario. So they wanted to go to the moon to get away from everybody so they wouldn't have to go to Kanto, and who knows what would happen in Kanto. All we know is that they were experimented and made in Kansai. They weren't actually made in Kanto. So we don't know if they actually went to Kanto or not, or what that situation is in Kanto, what the heck's actually happening. I'm hoping eventually we get an episode with Hacker there, because I know Hacker is alive, or at least I'm hoping Hacker is alive, to see what is going on in that place in time. Little did we know, mischievous little doctor girl, she is a traitor. She basically worked with the executioners, said, hey, take me off the Akudama list, and I will help you capture them and kill the other ones, and they agreed, which is really messed up. So all the executioners come out of nowhere, including the head boss lady, trying to kill them. Cutthroat ends up saving Swindler, at one point in time, but at this point in time, everybody is on the execution list. These executioners seem like they're a lot weaker than the master that we saw previously. Seem very weak compared to most of them. Cutthroat is just literally slicing through them like nothing, and so are some of the others as well. Courier, Doctor obviously is going to be on their side, and then Brawler obviously they kind of lost one of their strongest men, which sucks. So they're just trying to get out of there at that point in time. Swindler and Sister end up on a rocket. Brother is caught. He's most likely going to get shipped off to Kanto, unfortunately, unless something better happens in the next episode. Courier is probably going to get out of there. Cutthroat, 50-50 if he lives or dies. Hoodlum, we saw in the preview, as on the ground. I think they're going to realize that Hoodlum didn't really do anything and probably just put him back in jail for a couple of years. If they catch Swindler, possibly same scenario, although she did take a present to Kanto, so it is a good possibility that she is now SOL as well, but they're in a rocket right now, so that's interesting. Oh, and the whole moon situation with that, when the bomb went off and the war happened, not only Earth was scarred, and we learned this from like the head executioner lady, they blew up the freaking moon, like in half, like so there's a chunk of half of it here, and then there's just bits and pieces. It's literally a hologram. They put a hologram around the moon to trick people to believing it was still there. And that is just crazy. What the heck happened on the moon? Because now that's my kind of first thought in that. I was like, was there some sort of crazy epic Star Wars space battle that we're missing? Because if they don't show us that in the past, I'm going to be very disappointed. I know at this point in time, what do we got? Like 5-6 episodes left. And there's a lot that can happen. So obviously we got to figure out where Sister and Swindler are going. We need to figure out what happened to Hacker. Is Brawler really dead? Are they going to bring him back? 50-50 there, in all honesty, because Brawler's pretty tough. Doctor, I'm guessing they are going to try to kill her. But I know she is very, very difficult to kill because she can just stitch herself back up. However, if they manage to get rid of her toolkit, you know, her sewing equipment, her disinfectants, all of her other fun little medical tools, she will essentially be useless again, although she can cut people very well with a scalpel. As we've seen, has very good accuracy, where she almost threw the scalpel in Swindler's face. Cutthroat caught it. Cutthroat for the win. And Cutthroat was getting beat up defending her. I think if Cutthroat was on his own, didn't have to defend her, he'd be better off. But at the same time, he is kind of obsessed with her for whatever reason. He really likes her, and that's really good in her favor, but not so much his, unfortunately. All of them are probably not going to go without a fight. Hoodlum will, because he's pretty weak in this situation. So he'll just accept this fate and get arrested or possibly get executed. Who knows? It was kind of weird seeing them all pile up on him, because wouldn't they just try to kill him? Doesn't that make sense to me? They would just try to kill him as opposed to trying to mess with that whole scenario, you know, because he's dangerous, you know. He's got 500 million years. Even though I think the cap is 999, but who knows? Could be more, could be less. Not really sure. Cutthroat says you don't have the right to kill people. You're the worst type of people, as he kills everybody. But Cutthroat, he's got some mental illness problems, unfortunately. So that is what it is. So next episode, maybe we'll see Hacker 50-50. Is going to be more fighting in there. Who knows if they're going to be able to track down Swindler and the head executioner lady. She definitely knows more information than we think she does. 100%. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the foreseeable future with that scenario. So stay tuned for episode 8. You're lucky I felt like doing a single one today, so you're getting it on the day it's released. So happy you. You're welcome, my fans that actually watch this particular review series. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.